Hi everyone, it's Miss Stone Home, and today I'm going to try and recreate my dad's beef and broccoli dinner. It was my favorite that he made when I was a teenager, and it's been a very long time since I've had it. And he served this over top of rice. So I remember my dad having more of a bigger cut of meat, and he'd slice the pieces off. I picked up this chuck stew meat, and I'm going to make the pieces a little bit smaller just since my kids are smaller, and they'll cook a little bit faster and hopefully be a little bit more tender since this doesn't take too long to actually cook. I've got a little bit less than 2 pounds of that stew meat in there, cut up to about 1/2 inch to 1 inch pieces, and I'm going to put some onion in. My dad put onion and garlic in basically everything. So I've got a medium-sized onion. I'm going to dice up the rest of it and add that. I wouldn't say that the onions were very noticeable once it's all said and done, so you just kind of want them to melt away. It's been maybe 5, 6, 7 minutes or so. Looks like most of the pink has kind of gone from the outside of the meat. So I'm going to drain this to get some of the fat out. Alright, it's been drained and I returned it back to pretty high heat. I really do want to just kind of cook this meat as much as I can in a short amount of time to get it as tender as possible. So I'm going to do some garlic. Now my dad usually did garlic powder or the jarred garlic in the fridge, but I do garlic powder, but I do fresh garlic. So I did 2 cloves of fresh garlic, so I'm going to add that. Hope it doesn't make a big difference in the flavor. I don't think that it will. So now I'm going to add this beef stew mix. So this beef and broccoli, it's not a Chinese beef and broccoli, it's just beef and broccoli with a little surprise ingredient. So this calls for 2 pounds of stew meat, so that's perfect, you know, because I'm trying to remember this recipe. So I added that, and it calls for 3 cups of water, but I'm going to do 1 and kind of be conservative and add when I think I need it. So I'm adding 1/2 cup. I'm just going to kind of take it slow. I might add, like after I add the broccoli and vegetables, I might even add a little bit more. So it would be like the beef and the broccoli and the vegetables, and then there'd be like this little gravy in it that would be perfect over top of the rice. So I am going to start the rice now too. I added another 1/2 cup of water, so now we're up to 2 cups. I turned the heat down, and now I'm going to add, it's like medium, I'm going to add the broccoli. So this was 2 bunches. It's maybe 2 or 3 loose cups. Some are a little bit smaller, some are a little bit bigger. So the smaller ones might kind of dissolve a little bit into it, and then the bigger ones will have a little bit more texture. And I added 1 more cup of water, so we're up to 3 cups. So here's the unexpected ingredient. My dad would put cucumbers in the beef and broccoli. So this is 1 medium to large size cucumber. I peel it, cut it in half, and then cut them in half rounds, about 1/2 inch thick, so not too small. They'll get a little soft, but kind of retain their shape. I'm making 2 cups of rice. My dad always made the best rice, and he said only use Uncle Ben's, so that's all I use. I've got some salt and butter in there and 2 cups of rice to go with this. And we're just simmering over here, and I got a couple last seasoning ingredients to add, and then it'll be done when the rice is done. I turned it down to a lower temperature because everything's cooked. I tried the meat, the small little piece of meat. It was smart to cut them up. And it'll have a little chew to it, but nothing too tough. And, you know, it's not like a soup that you've stewed for like 2 or 3 hours and it falls apart. There'll be a little bite to it. I'm going to add some worcestershire sauce, so just a couple kind of dashes. That's what my dad would do. He never measured. So I tasted it, definitely a couple more. This is one of the bigger flavors in this, so a little bit more. And then we are going to do some Dijon mustard. So I'm just going to do just a little bit and mix it in. So those 2 flavors, the Worcestershire sauce and the Dijon mustard, are what really make this taste like my dad's beef and broccoli. And it takes it away from that beef stew mix. So a little bit of pepper. I'm not going to add any salt. I don't think it needs it, but obviously like once you plated it up, you'd season it to your taste. But that's it, my dad's beef and broccoli with cucumbers over rice. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.